There's a weed growing in my yard, probably your yard, which can really help your dogs or cats. Kind of looks like this. A brand new review study highlighted some key benefits for people, and this is very applicable to our pets. Let's go outside and find some. Come on, Poodle. Let's go find some dandelions.
Are you looking to learn more about natural pet health and wellness? You've come to the right place. Click the link to subscribe to Veterinary Secrets.
Welcome to our yard. It is towards the end of September. Not many flowers, but I think we can still find some dandelions. Look at that scent dog find something. You need to be finding the leaves which are somewhat jagged. And because I know my dandelions, I know there's a dandelion leaf there, which means there's a root. Aha. Okay. Without taking out the whole lawn. And the worm there. Okay, is this a dandelion? Oh, the leaves, you can see here, it's getting a little aged. You see they're fairly broad. See the jagged edges? Pretty classic of a dandelion. And the root. There's a dandelion root. And the root, the leaves, even the flowers, they are all medicinal. The study was titled New Perspectives on the Effects of Dandelion on the Cardiovascular System and its Diseases. So this is a new study talking about the effects of the simple dandelion, that weed in your garden, and its benefit on this, the heart, the lungs, the vessels associated with all that, because it is considered the #1 killer of us. If we're seeing benefits for us, they're seeing it conventionally, we know there's a bunch of really big things it can do for our dogs and cats. So let's highlight the big key ones. It's a little bit of a review. Things you really should be keeping in mind. Dandelion leaf, flowers, roots. It's a rich source of a whole host of medicinal nutrients. Flavonoid compounds, such as quercetin. Vitamin and minerals, especially potassium, A, C, E, and K. The roots, they're an awesome source of a prebiotic fiber called inulin, helps the good bacteria grow, can help regulate digestion. Also, they have some wonderful anti-cancer properties. Like all of that is in this. Here's some key nuggets from that review, specific things that are applicable to our dogs and our cats. #1, the dandelion leaves, acting as a natural diuretic. Think of that like the water pill. Most applicable to our pets is heart disease. One of the big secondary signs and symptoms of heart disease is we have fluid. It can be accumulating within the lungs, making it difficult for your dog or cat to breathe. They can accumulate within the abdomen. Conventionally, we're stuck veterinary medicine with these diuretics, such as furosemide, etc. They have some pretty big other secondary side effects. Dandelion, it's an awesome natural way to do it. No, it's not going to act as quick as these conventional diuretics. One fairly recent study, they extracted specific nutrients out of the dandelion leaf. They gave this to healthy volunteers, and they were able to show really clearly that 5 hours post drinking this extract, there's a marked increase in urination. They were able to prove that yes, extract from this leaf, it is a diuretic. So we rest our case. You have an animal that's in need of a diuretic, consider this. #2, anti-obesity effects. This recent study of people with cardiovascular disease, they were able to see that some of the extracts of the dandelion leaf, they had clear anti-obesity effects. It's important for people. We know that there's such a correlation and such a big link. People that are overweight, much more likely to have heart disease. But weight, it's a huge problem in our animals now. We're seeing upwards of over 50 or 60% of all dogs and cats in North America, they're overweight. And that clearly comes with certain heart conditions. They reference some specific mouse and rat studies where they had these obese rats. When they were fed dandelion leaf extracts, they were able to lose weight. Like, oh, from this. Holy cow. They attributed it specifically to 3 flavonoid type compounds, one luteolin, one camphorol, one myrcetin. It's thought that these specific compounds, they're playing a key role in regulating lipid metabolism. This is the magic weight loss cure. Who knew? #3, diabetes. Many researchers now believe that dandelion can play a role in blood sugar management. One of the other beneficial ingredients found in the leaf, something called chicoric acid. And what they're seeing is that chicoric acid, it can improve insulin production. So more insulin can become released from the pancreas. Secondarily, can make the cells more responsive to insulin. They also secondary attribute chicoric acid, some of the other nutrients within dandelion, decreasing absorption of those simple starches, those simple carbohydrates, which rapidly spike blood sugar. But to see that number one, it has an anti-obesity effect, makes sense also that it could be beneficial for diabetes. Because you know, for instance, in people, it's all kind of tied together. So that very much makes sense to me, also for animals. If I were to have a diabetic dog, a diabetic cat, I'd definitely be thinking about adding some of these green leaves into their diet. Number 4, acting like an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory activity. Dandelion leaf and root, it's a rich source of beta-carotene, a rich source of polyphenol compounds. These have specific antioxidant activity, we know that's so important, helping neutralize free radicals, which are a key source of cell damage and many of the diseases our dogs and cats are getting, i.e. cancer. It's thought these same nutrients, they also have anti-inflammatory properties. And when we look at many of the dog and cat diseases, i.e. liver disease, i.e. kidney disease, etc., even allergies, we know that the underlying cause often is chronic inflammation. These polyphenol compounds can play a big role in minimizing that. Potentially, they can play a big role in our dog and cat getting sick in the first place. It's thought that many of the cardioprotective events, i.e. acting as an antiplatelet aggregator, preventing this blood from forming and clotting, comes from the anti-inflammatory properties that's within dandelion. Then last but not least, and I've talked about it a lot, number 5, the anti-cancer properties. Most of that all appears to be coming from this, the root. There's been several studies on the potential big benefits of some of the things that's within dandelion root and its effect on cancer cells. The University of Windsor here in Canada, they've done a pile of research and they're looking at some more serious cancers, these end-stage leukemias. And for many people, they've seen big positive results. Some of the specific nutrients within the root have made a big difference and actually put some of these people into remission. All from this. As far as I'm concerned, it's one of the key potentially cancer preventive and or holistic cancer treatments. So much so that this is what I'm drinking just about every day. This here, roasted dandelion root. How would you start giving this to your dog or cat? So number 1, if you're trying to treat your dog or your cat using dandelion leaf as a natural diuretic, I suggest to start with this. Dandelion tincture, just ensure that it contains the leaf. It's not just a tincture of the root. A standard tincture dose, a half a ml of the tincture, which is 1/2 of this dropper. Put that much here. For 20 pounds of body weight, twice daily. When you're using it as a diuretic, you're just giving it to effect in terms of if your dog or your cat has heart disease and they're coughing, you're just giving it as you need to. So in some cases it's twice a day, other times it might be every 3rd day. You're just dosing it when they're coughing, not all the time. For some of the other benefits, the weight loss benefits, the anti-diabetic benefits, I think easiest once again will be getting the tincture, following that dose. A 20-pound dog, I would be doing half a ml once daily. And I'd try that for a month and then assess. Has it made a difference? Is it helping my dog? Does he or she appear like they're losing weight? They have better blood sugar regulation. But you could also just go get the dried leaves, sprinkle that into your dog's food. And there isn't any real specific dose. I think if you go around the guideline, about a tablespoon per 10 to 20 pounds of body weight daily is completely safe. But it's seen as something that you can't overdose on. Really, really, really wide safety margin. So feel free. Sprinkle those dried leaves on your pet's food. I've made a previous YouTube video showing you how to make a dandelion root decoction and exactly how to dose it for your dog or cat. You need to get dried dandelion root, looks like this, it needs to be dried. You grind it in a coffee grinder so there's just small chunks, it's not a fine powder. You're then going to put in 1 teaspoon with 1 cup of water, and that will be the dose for a 20-pound dog. You're going to simmer that for 15 or 20 minutes on the stove. You've got it simmered, it's going to boil down, be about 1/3, maybe half a cup. And that would be your 20-pound dog's dose for a day. You can either just pick the dandelions, dry the roots, or just go to any natural health store and get dried dandelion root. Really inexpensive. Say, for instance, you're trying to treat a dog that had lymphoma. I think dandelion root's a great option. That dandelion root tincture. And you'd want to give that to your dog for a full 14 days and then get an assessment. Has it made a difference? Does my dog seem slightly better? Has his appetite improved? Definitely worth trying. I actually dug some out of my shelf because I know I have it somewhere. That's the chopped up dry dandelion root. So this would be about an amount. That's about a teaspoon. I'd throw that into a pot and a cup of water. Simmer that for 15 or 20 minutes. And that's what I would give to my dog throughout the day. My point is, dandelion, it can do some wonderful thing for our pets. So if you have an animal in need of a diuretic, an animal that's diabetic, even an animal that has cancer, you need to be strongly considering this. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets and an update on the weed in my garden and probably your garden that can offer so many health benefits for our pets. Click up there to subscribe, hit the bell to sign for notifications, and when you click that link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book. Tula, find some dandelions. Let's go. Where are they? She's not really just a poodle. So as I said, the flowers are gone. You're not going to see the yellow dandelion flowers, but the plant's still somewhere here. Fear not. As you can see, I've got a healthy population of weeds. I'm an expert weed grower. Come to me if you want more weeds in your lawn.